Hello. Today we're going to be looking at two roller coasters I made on Ultimate Coaster 2, Poseidon and Atlantis. These are both some of the best roller coasters I've made on Ultimate Coaster 2, and I haven't featured them on my top 10 favorite roller coasters I made because they're pretty new, but I'm going to be comparing them to see which one's better. I'll show you the POV in a second, and just enjoy, and don't skip over the POVs because they're pretty useful. And if you don't agree with my rankings, I'm going to rank them in different categories like airtime, intensity, comfort, and that stuff. And if you don't agree with my rankings, say what you would think it would be in the comments. And make sure to like and subscribe to Theme Park Stuff. So you get the gist. They're both incredible roller coasters with incredible POVs, but which one is better? So I'm going to be counting that on a board with the logo of the roller coaster above, and I'll be keeping track. There will be airtime, intensity, speed, top hats, and inversions, and then finally an overall score. There's also going to be an X factor to see if there are any other parts that could be considered great about each ride. And the final overall score will be 2.5 points, and every other one will be 1 point. And whichever one has more points is a winner. You feel free to type in the comments which one you would rather ride, and enjoy my video. So the first factor is going to be airtime. I've showed a picture of Atlantis with the double up, the top hat. You can see some bunny hops in the distance. Atlantis has some incredible airtime. Some amazing intimate airtime that you get on Velocicoaster Maverick, and it'll be pretty tough to beat. But let's go to Poseidon. So I showed you a picture of Poseidon's 2 El Toro Camelback hills, a bunch of other hills. And Poseidon is no joke with the airtime. Poseidon is an airtime-focused experience. It just has some great inversions, but airtime is the focus with Poseidon. So the final score for airtime is going to be Poseidon. Next up is going to be intensity. Atlantis is an extremely intense roller coaster, but it's not entirely focused on its intensity. Yes, it's a very intense roller coaster, but it is more focused on this fun aspect than being an overly intense roller coaster like Intimidator 305. This is more of the Fury 325 than Intimidator 305. So it's still extremely intense, but I have a strong feeling that Poseidon's probably going to be more intense. Speaking of Poseidon, Poseidon's up next. So Poseidon is an extremely intense roller coaster. It's the Intimidator 305 of the group. It has so many intense elements. It's just an extremely intense roller coaster, so the tally mark is going to Poseidon. Next up, we have launches, and I know I didn't say that there were launches, but I forgot, and launches are extremely important. So Atlantis has 2 intense launches. The first launch is a rolling launch. It accelerates from 0 to 70 miles per hour in like 2 seconds. It's very intense. And the second launch is no joke either. It accelerates from about 60 to 75 or something miles per hour. There are 2 insanely punchy and insanely amazing launches, and they're going to be really hard to beat. Next up, we have Poseidon. These both are dueling, intimate, also multi-launch roller coasters, both having 2 launches. And Poseidon has a launch with hold time about 10 seconds. And the first launch is to about 60 miles per hour, and the second launch is to about 80 miles per hour. And they don't really have that much kick to them. The first launch is good, but they don't have all that much kick to them. So for the final score, it's going to have to be Atlantis. Next up, we have inversions. And this is where Atlantis really starts to shine. Atlantis has 4 inversions. It's more of an inversion-focused ride. It has some incredible inversions. It has the upside-down top hat. It has the corkscrew downwards. And it has a stall. Does it have a stall? No, it has a heartline roll. I forgot. The inverted top hat is a stall. So it has a heartline roll, and it has the final Mosasaurus roll type inversion, which I've showed you on the screen. And it's just an insanely whippy, and it's just an amazing inversion, and it's just a really great element on the ride. And it has a bunch of inversions. It's more of an inversion-focused ride, more than Poseidon is, so it's going to be pretty tough to beat. Next up for inversions, we have Poseidon. Poseidon has 4 inversions. It has a corkscrew, which is just okay. It has a really great stall. It has a corkscrew downwards, which isn't as intense as Atlantis's is, but it's still pretty intense. And it has a Mosasaurus roll type inversion. You can argue that Poseidon's Mosasaurus roll type inversion is better than Atlantis's, But overall, since this isn't as much of an inversion-focused roller coaster, I'm going to have to give the win to Atlantis. So next up, we have top hats. Atlantis' top hat is pretty unique. It is only 180 feet, but it dives into a trench. It has a pretty steep drop. It's actually taller than Poseidon's at 204 feet, even though Poseidon's it's a taller structure, but it's not as big of a drop. And yeah, it's really unique and it's really cool. And next up we have Poseidon's top hat. Poseidon has more of a traditional top hat. They're both pretty steep. They're both pretty intense. But since Atlantis is a little bit bigger, I'm going to have to give the win to Atlantis. Next up we have length. Atlantis is a pretty long ride. It has about 5,000 feet of track, but it isn't the longest in duration. It has some rapid fire elements, and it's just going really fast, which makes it so that it's not as long of a ride experience, but still long enough for it to be considered a good ride. But now we have Poseidon. Poseidon has over 6,500 feet of track. It is an extremely long ride experience, and overall, I think Poseidon stomps, spits, and shites all over Atlantis when it comes to length. Next up, we have speed. So Atlantis has more punchy launches than Poseidon does, and it sort of feels like it's going faster in a way, but it's really not. So it's still really, really fast, but it isn't as fast as Poseidon is. So next up, we have Poseidon. Poseidon has a top speed of 83 miles per hour. Although its launches aren't as intense as they are on an Atlantis, but they still get the job done and get you going really, really fast. So for this score, it's going to have to be Poseidon. Next up, we have X Factor, or variety, or just any elements that I didn't cover in the video. So X Factor is basically describing what I didn't go over, and I pretty much went over pretty much everything with Atlantis, but there is a bit of variety with Atlantis that I didn't really go over. It does have this element called a Stangle Dive, which it does right before the second launch, which is a pretty insane element. It is intense. There are a lot of Maverick at Cedar Point, and yeah, it's a pretty great element, but it doesn't have that much of variety. It's not generic, it's pretty unique, but it doesn't have as much of a variety as our next roller coaster, Poseidon. Poseidon has a really great variety, especially in this little segment that I showed you. It is pretty unique, and it is not made in just in a lot of other Intamin LSM multi-launch roller coasters. So yeah, X Factor is going to have to go to Poseidon. Alright, it all comes down to this one. Whichever wins this one is the winner of the roller coaster duel, and we'll move on to the next round. I'll be doing a bunch of other duels to see which blitz is best. But there's only going to be one winner in this, and this is a very hard decision. It's like picking which kid you like more. But even though it is really hard, I'm gonna have to say... Actually, before I talk about this, let me talk about something to you. I am a smaller creator, and I'm trying to get a lot of views and a lot of stuff for like the government to think that my channel's legit, and to give me like money for it and stuff. And if that happens and I get enough money, I can save up to do this big long trip across the country. I'll bring you and I'll vlog. It'll be a bunch of roller coasters. Back to the video. So the winner is gonna have to be, due to the layout, it's gonna have to be Poseidon. I hope you enjoy this video. There will be a part 2 comparing Batman from Black Mamba. And I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe, comment which one you like more, and see you again on theme park stuff.